Hello and welcome to Footy Judgment, people. Starboy Phil Foden leads Manchester City comeback against a resilient Manchester United. I thought they would get away with a point, but no, the quality shows the difference in quality between the both teams. To be honest, it was very obvious in terms of individuals and even tactics. To be honest with you, I'm not sure how to analyze Manchester United. That's why we have Mina and Michael Griggs here to talk to us, to tell us how they saw Manchester United. And I'm here with a brilliant Martin, of course, from the Mancunian way to talk to us about Foden, Pep Guardiola, and how Man City are still 1 point behind Liverpool, facing Liverpool next week. But listen, if you're here, hit that like button. If you're watching this on the replay, like the video before you go on, because we are in for a fantastic and a great show. And how is everybody doing? How are you, Mina? How are you?
I've had better days, but it is what it is. I'm good, alhamdulillah. I can't complain. Got a roof over my head. I'm healthy.
Yes. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I forgot. So, Martin, how are you? You happy?
Yeah, very good.
Buzzing. Absolutely. Griggs, you're pissed. I can tell, bro.
No, I'm actually not that pissed. It is what it is at the end of the day. It's a sunny day outside. It's 60 degrees. Going to go out later. That's all I care about. United lost. I'm used to it. It's happened 13 times already. What's another one?
Almost getting a draw. I'm gonna start with Martin. I'm gonna start with Man City. And the question is, a lot of people are not happy with the first half of Manchester City. You told me off the stream that we didn't look as bad as people think. Number one, why do you think Man City fans are upset about the first half? And did you like the first half from your team?
Personally, I thought we were really good first half. Other than the one chance, I think what upsets some City fans is we're conceding the same goal every week. It's the same goal. It's one ball over the top. But don't get me wrong, Bruno did very well holding it up. Diaz, questionable on his defending. Rashford with a quality finish. And then Rashford went MIA for the rest of the game after that. No, the simple fact is, I think there's a little bit of, don't want to say spoiltness, a little bit of, it's the same every week. 3 or 4-0 at half time every week. There's a meltdown within some of the fan base, and it just comes with expectations. Personally, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. It baffles me a little bit. I don't understand, but I thought we were creating chances. I'm one of these. I get more worried when we're not creating chances. But we were creating chances. We were causing United problems all over the pitch. You see some of that United defending. United defended well, but it was last-ditch defending. Good saves by Anana. It wasn't anything that was... It's a story of our season. We do waste some chances. And I've said this to you on numerous streams. We do waste some chances. Foden one-on-one, Haaland open net from a yard, which you think, one of them, trouble is with Haaland is inevitable. It's like Thanos. He's inevitable. He's coming at you at some point. But I just don't get the meltdown.
Were you happy with the lineup, though? Were you happy with Doku, Foden on the right, or you wanted to play Foden in the middle, Bernardo on the right? Were you happy with the lineup, bro?
I was satisfied with the lineup. I wasn't happy. I was satisfied once I'd seen us play, because I thought Doku was much improved today. Thought he was quite good holding up the play. The thing is, the other thing with some City fans, they're wanting Doku to be Sterling and Sane. He's not going to be that. Pep was always going to change him. Pep's never going to come away from his tiki-taka possession football. And I've said this to you loads. There's no point in Doku going wildly down the wing and nobody's there for him. So he has to hold up the play a lot more. For me, I think he's becoming a more intelligent footballer. His passing's improving. His backtracking's improving. Personally, I think that was one of his better games today as a Manchester City Pep Guardiola player. People need to realise with Doku, he's becoming a Pep player. Take away this Doku from Belgium, because he isn't going to be the same. He isn't not going to be the same, and fans need to start realising this.
I actually think Doku was good.
Yeah, I did. I don't understand this. Doku was crap.
So I was on a stream with LB yesterday, Friday morning, and I told him, listen, I think Doku should start. He's going to pull Manchester United away. They cannot play narrow. He's going to cause problems, which happened. And I think Pep Guardiola chose the right guy. Maybe he needs to improve. Remember, he's 21 years old. He hasn't played a lot of senior football, so I think he's a good player.
I don't know what fans want out of Doku
right away, which is not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Fans need to realise we are not going to have a winger who hits the byline and spams crosses in. Pep will not have that out of any winger. It will always be hold the ball at the edge of the box and play it backwards. I don't understand why fans are not seeing this. I don't get it. I had a guy sat behind me. It's slow. Where have you been for 8 years? Pep Guardiola football. I don't get it. It was like this. These fans are craving 18-19 with the 100 points and the 2 wingers. You're not going to get that with our players. Sorry, they're just not. People need to get their head out the sand and realise what they're watching sometimes.
Yeah. I want to get to the Man United guys. I'm going to start with Mina. Lineup. I actually called this lineup on LB stream yesterday. I said he's going to play Bruno up top with Rashford and Garnacho. He's going to play McTominay. It worked though. Did you guys want something else?
I don't think we can say we wanted something else because the options are not there, unfortunately. There's no out-and-out striker to play up top. I think a lot of United fans, myself included, Griggs might agree, I'd much rather Rashford on the left. Bruno in the false 9, it worked. I think, I'll be real, the way that Erik ten Hag set United up in the first half, it worked. It worked because United took their first chance when they got it, but also it worked because, it forced City to play their passages of play through the wings, through Foden, through Doku. United packed out the middle of the pitch. McTominay, very compact in defensive transition in particular. And I don't know, I didn't know City fans were losing their head over Doku because I just think in terms of everyone else, yeah, he wasn't the best, but he was coming up against Dalot and Casemiro, who was supporting Dalot, and Varane, who was supporting Dalot. So he had more people that he was dealing with. I don't know if you saw, but there was quite a few times where he was trying to run at his fullback, trying to dribble at his fullback, and he was getting doubled up on. Foden never got that same experience on the right hand, on the other side. Foden didn't, and I don't know why, because Foden.
Yeah, we know why.
Foden was the biggest threat, the bigger threat.
No, but we know because Marcus Rashford is lazy.
Is it? I wouldn't say it's because of Marcus Rashford.
All instructions.
I wouldn't say completely, because I'm not here saying Garnacho was supporting Dalot. I'm saying Casemiro was. I'm saying that his centre-back partner next to him, Varane, was.
Kobe Mino was the left. Look at Kobe Mino's position.
Kobe Mino played everywhere. If you see in that midfield, in that game, Kobe Mino did not play one specific midfield part. I don't know if you saw, there was times where he was following Bernardo Silva because it felt like Bernardo Silva had a free role of literally just lurking between every half space that he could find between the centre backs and the defenders and the defensive midfielders. Sorry, he was following Bernardo Silva at one point. He was following KDB at one point. He was following anyone that was trying to utilize that midfield space. And it forced City to go out wide, to play through Doku, to play through Foden. I said this when I saw Lindelof up against Foden. That was my bigger worry. Just because I don't think, unfortunately, Lindelof is a good fullback. But United are in a position this season where they're playing fullbacks. They're playing players out of position because there is an injury crisis on that left-hand side. And that's the case. And I'm not saying that's why United lost. But I'm saying when you look at how Phil Foden dropped a man of the match performance up against Lindelof, when Erik ten Hag inevitably made changes, did you see what Pep did? He put Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side and he put Foden on the left. Now Foden and KDB up against the rookie Camberwala is toast. It's toast, unfortunately. So today's game, I think the starting lineup is inevitably is all that United could have put out. It's all United could have put out. I think in the first half when Haaland missed that sitter, I thought maybe today is the day that United get a result at their camp. I thought maybe today is the day because I thought, how is this guy missing from that far out? I think in terms of
that happens all the time.
It happens all the time, but it gives you hope. It's the hope that's going to kill you sometimes. It's the hope that's going to kill you because I thought first half, not going to lie, United didn't have a shot until 23rd minute onwards. United did not have a shot on goal. I don't know if you lot know that. Someone sent me a stat on my stream that said that United had less possession than City had shots. And that's crazy. 26% possession versus 27 shots from City.
That's actually true.
And for me, the biggest issue was second half. And this has been the story for United pretty much throughout most of the season. They start a game with a type of tempo, a type of push, a type of aggression, runs in behind. Onana, clearly the instructions was Onana, ball over the top, Garnacho running behind, Rashford running behind, Bruno, whoever, someone running behind. But that United can only keep that up, unfortunately, for 40 minutes. That's literally.
Listen, Mike, I wanted to ask you something. Marcus Rashford, before we go back to City and talk about Phil Foden and stuff, my analysis of Marcus Rashford today was he was a coward. I'm sorry. He's scared of Kyle Walker. He's scared of using his trickery against Kyle Walker. He not only the goal they scored with the Poland, that you can say it's a free kick or not, but I thought he scored the goal and he thought, I did my job. This is it. I did my job. I thought he was the outlet for Manchester United. And Bruno Fernandes, fair to him, and Kobe Mainoo and Casemiro got him the ball. And got him the ball in spaces to run into against Kyle Walker. You should be able, if you call yourself a top player, at least to hold it up, not driving it to the throw-in, not losing it every time, not driving into the pressure when you have like 3-4 players against you. I thought that Marcus Rashford is the one that couldn't make it 2-0 because City pushed everybody forward and you bypassed the press. I'm not sure if you agree with this or not. How did you see Marcus Rashford? He was the outlet, but they got it to him. It's not like he didn't receive the ball. Garnacho received the ball way less than him. Marcus Rashford had the ball. He just couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, the goal was incredible. That was like, Mina might agree. If Rooney's goal against Newcastle, where he just like smashed the ball when it landed to him, that's what it felt like with Rashford. He just smashed it. Looked like a frustration shot because he's obviously been frustrated. It was a beautiful goal. I do agree that he did get the best opportunities. He could have had a brace in that first half. I do agree with that. When he headed the ball instead of chesting it, but I think coward is the wrong word to use. He didn't do anything else. He was just poor after the first goal. It's as simple as that. That foul that wasn't a foul. Most players go down in that situation. They feel the contact.
Maybe coward is harsh a little bit.
And they feel the contact and they go down. Jack Grealish would have gone down when he felt that contact.
100%.
And it's that he didn't get the call. It is what it is at the end of the day, right?
You thought that was a free kick?
It's a 50-50. Some refs give it, some don't. It is what it is at the end of the day. It all depends on the referees. It depends on who the player is, because some players obviously have a diver reputation, and Rashford has become a player that falls down at instant contact now. So he's garnered that reputation. So the ref didn't want to give it. He didn't give it. It is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not going to complain about it, right? It's not like a robbery or anything. But I thought he was poor. I think Mina was right. I think the first 30 minutes, we had a good game plan. We had the opportunities. Garnacho had an opportunity in the first 5 minutes. He didn't square it to Rashford. He just kept dribbling and he got intercepted. Rashford, when he whiffed the shot at far post, he could have connected and made it 2-0. So he had the opportunities, but I think coward is the wrong word, because coward is like you just don't want to be there. He wanted to be on that pitch today. He was tracking back for a good part of the game, to be honest, in my opinion. I saw him. He was defending in the box at times. He did his best. It wasn't Rashford's fault that Foden was kicking Lindelof. It's the fact that Lindelof is not on the planet to be able to mark Foden. There's a difference. One's a world class talent. The other one's just not good enough to even be at Man United. So he just got cooked. So I think
maybe I used the wrong word then. Maybe it's very harsh for me to use the wrong word. I just think. Okay, so when I compare, I'm gonna go to more to Man City, but the last thing is that when I compare how Bruno played to how Rashford played, I think someone who wanted to win the game in Bruno Fernandes, and Rashford, yes, he wanted to win. I'm not gonna question that, but I thought that you could have done way more. I thought he could have done way more. With the ball at his feet, you should be that talented guy. You could have done way more, to be honest. We cannot be sitting here and saying that Foden did this and that and Marcus Rashford in this game with a lot of spaces. City defense is weak. City defense is exposed because Pep Guardiola pushes people high and they leave them one-on-one a lot of the times. I don't know. Like, I'm watching Rashford today. I didn't like it, but we'll go back to that. But Martin, Phil Foden today, star boy and all the talk. He is the one who won Manchester City the game today, in my opinion. He stepped up. That goal was absolutely fantastic. The equalizer was ridiculously good. This is a kid that we criticized a lot. We said he's not making a position his and all this stuff, and he's stepping up lately big time. How do you see him? Like, do you see him the one that is stepping up in the rest of the season and winning Man City the title if you're going to win the title?
Him and Rodri, yeah. The moment. I think Phil Foden's maturing before our eyes, and I think he is going into the world-class category at the moment. He's the thing I love today is, and the one thing I've been critical of him probably the most is I'd like him to have more shots from distance, because he's got it in his locker and he's shown it 2 or 3 times this season. But because we do this working the ball in the box and 15,000 touches within the box, and then we want to score the perfect goal, you don't see a lot of it. But because listen, what United did today is what every team has done at the Etihad this season. Every team has come to the Etihad and done that. I think we had a private chat about it the other day, Mo. That's what we're facing now. So we're having to probably, and I've thought about it and I thought, is it the defence, or like you just said, is it we're having to push so far up to get some form of room going, because everyone's just coming and parking up? Because like United today, they got the goal and it was game over for them. I don't know what they did. It was just like, we'll score the goal, that's it. I just want to touch on Rashford after his comments in midweek. How he had the balls to walk out and throw that performance out today. If I was a United fan, I'd be more fuming about that, because he had no right to do those comments midweek and then turn around and throw that performance in today. Yeah, he scored his goal, but then after that, he was just throwing himself to the ground. Looked so disinterested. But Foden, yeah, I think he's having his best ever season, goals and assist-wise. He's now coming into these clutch moments. He's scoring. He's winning games on his own. Brentford away. It's becoming, for me, he's player of the season so far. But Rodri, don't underestimate him either, because he got 2 assists today. Rodri's very quietly gone into that Ilkay Gundogan role, and no one's noticed it. No one's noticed it at all. Because now he's getting goals, he's getting assists, and nobody's noticing it. And it was what's better about Foden. And Foden was kind of, I wouldn't even say that was Foden's best game, because he was out on the wing. And like you said, he started out on the right, got moved to the left. That's not his best performance. That's not his best position. His best position is in that midfield. But the trouble is, well, you've got Kevin there, etc. Going to be hard for him to get into that on the regular. It just shows you. I mean, I thought Kevin De Bruyne did a hell of a lot of running today. Wasn't his normal magnificent self ball-wise, but did a lot of the ball. Bernardo, like Mina just said, was tremendous off the ball. He ran his socks off today, Bernardo. Chased everything. For me, our midfield today was really good in terms of the way we had to do it, because United just didn't want to give up space. They didn't want to give up any kind of retail area. And it was quite funny, because I was watching it. And this is why I don't think the first half was as bad as everyone said it was. I just think sometimes you've got to play what you're given. There are 2 teams on a football pitch, and people forget that. Some people think there's only the one team on the football pitch, and that's it. But no, and Phil Foden, just, yeah, to put it bluntly, I'd say he's getting in that world-class category.
Jay's saying United played the defensive game today and the game was still open. It wasn't open at all. At the end, it was open. How can that be? City still had over 25 good shots on goal. No, they didn't have 25 shots.
I was open. I don't see United coming over the halfway line second half. What was open
8 shots. I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I'm watching this game and I thought Man United did all right. Like, if I'm a Man United fan, I wouldn't be upset. This is what they have. Mina, is this just
Sorry, go on. You know what I saw today from a lot of United fans, mates of mine, was an acceptance of how far behind. And that's not an arrogant, it was a couple of my mates who big United fans who were like, we're way behind. and they're not even a year behind. So we're talking 3, 4, 5 years behind you.
Yeah, well, this is why
So
people,
far.
yeah, the people in the chat. I want to know. We have almost 400 people here, guys. Do you think Man United can catch Man City in the near future at all? Mina, was this just a matter of like quality is not there?
Yeah. To an
That's
extent,
it. Just quality.
no. It's not just the quality. I think to an extent, it's dominance, it's comfortability. City's been at the top for a long time. City has been performing like this. Maybe not like today's game, but just in general, they've been playing well for a number of years now. United have to catch up with City, Liverpool. We now have to catch up with other teams, Arsenal as well. When you look at today's game, and I was saying this when I was watching the game, United, and this happens a lot, by the way, especially throughout this season. United players, just in terms of their ability, they don't know where their teammates are. But for City today, it's second instinct. Bernardo has the ball. He doesn't even need to look up for too long because he knows where KDB will be. He knows where Rodri would be. Phil Foden knows where Kyle Walker will be with the overlap. He knows where John Stones will be in the box. John Stones in the box. Like, what the hell is going on? For real. He knows that where John Stones will be. That is what you call quality. That's quality in ability. That's quality in coaching. That's quality in the way that they're training. It's been drilled into them. This is second instinct. This is second nature to them. United, on the other hand, and it's not just into today's game, but many games throughout the season, players will pick up the ball, take so many unnecessary touches because they don't know where their teammates are. Bruno will have the ball. I saw it today. He had the ball in the midfield. He looks up. He doesn't know where McTominay will be. He doesn't know where Kobe will be. He doesn't know where Casemiro will be. Instead, there was so many instances, especially in the second half. And this is why I feel like second half, United wanted to just see the game out. Didn't anticipate that Foden would score a great goal. At that point, 1-1, see the result out, get a draw, get a point at the Etihad. Because there was small increments of moments where United had the ball in transition, they would slow the pace down, and instead of trying to get to City's goal to maybe go for a second, they would go all the way back to Onana. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it happened about 3-4 times where McTominay would have the ball, he would go out to Garnacho. There was a passage of play where United had the ball for about, I'd say, 50 seconds to a minute, and they were passing it around on the right-hand side. Varane was coming forward, getting involved. Casemiro, Garnacho, went back to Dalot, it went all the way back to Onana, long kick. Lose possession. United didn't go at any point. I didn't feel like United wanted to go for the result. I don't think we played for the win. United couldn't play for the win.
That's quality.
Quality.
Yeah.
Is we don't have the quality for that in the players.
McTominay is not great. Casemiro is not Rodri on the ball. He needs support. And if you have Kobe Mainoo, who's inexperienced, he looked all right. And if you have McTominay, who I thought was absolutely atrocious, terrible on the ball, terrible decision making, not in case of like what to do, is like in case of like, when do I pass back? When do I pass forward? When do I pass sideways? I thought he made every time the wrong decision. McTominay. To be honest, I was watching him. I'm like, bro, you shouldn't be playing the midfield. You should be a sub off the bench. When Man United are chasing the game or something, you crash the 18. Him playing in the midfield is criminal, especially against a quality team like Manchester City.
Well, can I ask you United?
It's an open floor.
Only because it's something I've not understood this, and maybe United fans can clue me in. I've noticed it more today. You bought Onana for the Ten Hag way of playing out from the back, which worked on your goal. Why does Varane take all your goal kicks? Because that sort of then baffles me a little bit. It's like, why have your goalie to do that and then have your centre back taking the goal kicks?
I thought he's taking the short goal kick.
Yeah, he takes the short goal kicks. He doesn't
play to Onana to start the play.
But it baffles me then. Sorry, you don't see Edison. No one does that for Edison.
No, all the goalkeepers do this now in the world. A lot of teams do this. A lot of teams have a center back play a short pass to the goalkeeper so he can start the attack. Yeah, a lot of teams do that.
I don't get it. Baffles me.
Maybe City don't do it.
But baffles me that. If you've got a goalie with that technique in him, he showed it. And he's going to make. That's the thing, when you're playing sweeper keeper, you're gonna have to gamble once or twice. That's the idea of a sweeper keeper. No, you got done from the bloody halfway line doing that. It's just what you take. You see, it just baffles me.
I don't know, but I don't know, to be honest. Like I'm just watching Man United, to be honest. Again, Johnny Evans. Okay, I said this last in the beginning of the season, and people didn't believe me. Rafa Varane isn't the guy to play from the back. He isn't good. His positioning isn't good. His passing is. I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm not saying he's Tarkovsky, but his positioning isn't great. His passing isn't good. Johnny Evans looked more comfortable on the ball than Rafa Varane. So when you have that, when you combine that with having Casemiro in front of you and McTominay, I don't think that, and Lindelof, that's 5 players that are not good on the ball. That's 5 players on the pitch. Plus Marcus Rashford, who somehow lost his ability to dribble. And Garnacho is overrated. So basically, you have 2 players that can actually hold the ball, which is Bruno Fernandes sometimes and Kobe Mainoo. So how can Man United hold any position? Just how? It wasn't going to happen.
Can't. Just can't. That's what it is. That's why the game plan was Onana kick along and play the ball over the top. There was United players, like, there were moments where we passed it short into City's dangerous areas instead of booting it long, and then we would boot it long instead of playing it short and try to go on the counter.
Yeah,
that's where, like, when Mina talks about player quality, that's where it goes in. I was seeing Rodri place every single pass inch perfect. The weight of pass, the where it lands, everything inch perfect. Our pass, McTominay is gonna kick it long, not gonna go anywhere. Varane, okay on the ball. Sometimes he'll make the right pass, sometimes he won't. Dallo was good on the ball. Everyone else, it's just mid. We just don't have anyone that's good on the ball. Our goalkeeper, if I really want to say, bar Lissandro Martinez and like Luke Shaw, our best player on the ball is Andre Onana. He's the one I would trust with the ball at his feet. My goalkeeper's a regista that's playing in goal. That's what I call him. He's a regista playing in goal because he's better with the ball at his feet than he typically is at shot saving. So that's why we're like, because Martin mentioned like Ten Hag put Onana in to play out the back. How can you play out the back? Like Mo, you mentioned Lindelof. Lindelof gets the ball at his feet.
Bro, Lindelof on the ball is so awkward. It's unbelievable.
I want to turn off my television when I see Lindelof on the ball. Johnny Evans,
unbelievable, bro.
But less Johnny Evans, because I thought he did the best he could today. But he's also very old. So by the time the ball gets to Evans and by the time he adjusts his body to get to the ball, KDB was already pressing him and he was already there. So he's just very slow. If we had Johnny Evans maybe 5 years ago, it would have looked better. But unfortunately, he's 35 years old and his body gave out by about the 20th minute. But he kept on playing.
I didn't mean to laugh, by the way. I was laughing because I turned to my lad and went, "It's 2010."
Yeah,
laughing, bro.
What's going on here?
I laugh too because Johnny Evans is
how
better than
10 years. How 10 years can do to you? Like how?
But
much
what is Johnny Evans playing at Man United for?
And he's still one of our best centre backs this season. That's the craziest
What's
thing.
going on? I'm sorry. What is
He's
going
one of
on?
our best centre backs this season.
Yeah.
He's one of our, and you know what it is I'll be real. When United signed him in the summer, I was like, what the hell is this? But when you watch Johnny Evans, just in general, even in the games that we might lose, it's his discipline and his experience that gets him through the defensive phases of the game. He knows how to read it a lot better. Unfortunately, better than players like Lindelof, etc. Should he be playing? No. But today, when he came off, I was sad. I was sad. It's 2024, and I'm sad that Johnny Evans is getting subbed off. Do you know how that is so absurd? But Erik ten Hag did say that he was playing through an injury, and so was Marcus Rashford. Both of them were playing through an injury, and that's just another issue amongst all the other issues that United have this season. The injuries as well.
No, 100%. This is a super chat that came in that is kind of Mr. Happy. Thank you for everybody sending a super chat, supporting the channel. Maybe now Foden will actually step it up for England in a major tournament instead of stinking the place out. Jude and Saka don't have this issue. I'm gonna let Martin respond to this.
Am I allowed to swear?
No, well, yeah, you are, but I don't want to swear.
Then I won't swear. But while you've got that tool in charge of England, Phil Foden will never get the opportunity properly. It's not Phil Foden's the issue. It's the tool who's in charge of England that's the issue. Sorry, simple answer. He came out, 3 months ago. Phil Foden's not a centre mid. Okay. All I need to know about him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I'm watching this Foden, and this Foden should be the future for England. I like Saka as well on the right side. I think Foden can play in the center. I like it. But I wanted to a little bit talk about what does this win do for the title race? Why someone keeps asking me in the chat, You're a free seater. You keep asking me to talk about Amrabat. I don't know what to tell you. It's the grave. Manchester United, Old Trafford. Starting from Pogba, Di Maria, a lot of players. Amrabat was good last
Let's
season.
not compare Amrabat to those guys, please. Let's not do that.
I'm not gonna say he's I'm not saying he's Pogba. I'm not saying he's Di Maria. But the way the guy looks on the pitch is ridiculous. That's not the same guy that played for Fiorentina or Morocco, and you know that. I
Thought
watched
he
him
played
last
for
season.
Watford. Sorry, joke.
No, but that's
Some
not
will
the
get
same
that.
guy.
Some will not get that.
I think with Amrabat,
That's a good joke.
No,
Some will get
Amrabat,
that.
it's like
that's
Amrabat,
Nuruddin Amrabat. For people
with-
that don't know, Nuruddin Amrabat is
he plays for
different.
Ike, right? I think, but
My point about Amrabat, and I'm gonna say it for the last time, so people stop asking me because I said he's better than Rice, and I'm gonna say it again. Over last season, when someone played for West Ham and someone played for Fiorentina, Amrabat looked better on the ball, passing percentages, and long balls and long range and all the stuff. Declan Rice went to Arsenal, a system that works, a team that works. Probably he's more suited to the Premier League. I'm gonna have to raise my hand and say Amrabat probably isn't suited for the physicality of the Premier League. I'm gonna have to say I got this wrong, probably most likely that he's not suited for the Premier League at all. Declan Rice is way more
And
suited. Huh?
Rodri didn't look suited in his first season. He was
No, the
called
difference is
Plodrick.
Rodri came as an understudy for Fernandinho. There was KDB.
True. No, but he was called Plodra. Some City fans called him Plodra, and now he's like,
it's just different. I'm just saying, Amrabat isn't gonna get better for Man United unless something dramatic happens. He isn't. They're not gonna even redeem him. He's gonna go back to Fiorentina. He looks atrocious. He looks sluggish. He looks very slow on the ball. I'm just gonna say, I'm saying it as it is. I'm not gonna be stubborn and tell you, yeah, last season he was this and that. This season, the guy looked absolutely atrocious. And for people that wanna talk about Doku for the last time, I like Doku, even though I said he's an underwhelming signing. I still think he's an underwhelming signing. He should be an understudy for someone else. Paying 50 million for someone that raw is a lot of money. However, he can come good. And he's playing for a very well-drilled team. So that team can carry him. He doesn't have to be the superstar. There is Foden, there is Rodri, there is Stones, there is Alvarez, there is Haaland. There's a lot of players around him.
plus,
People, I actually think there is an agenda against Doku to make him look bad, even though he's young and he plays for a Man City.
It's not really. You know, it's like I said earlier on. It's that people are wanting. They did the same for Grealish. The same things that people criticize Grealish for, they're now criticizing the same things for Doku, and it is neither of the fault. It's our system. I don't understand this shock horror after 8 years. I don't get it. I don't know why fans are suddenly shocked on the way Pep plays wingers.
Yeah,
I don't understand it. And Doku, it's unfair. He's 21. It's his first ever season. And not only that, if Grealish should have been fit, I think Grealish would have started today. Doku
Martin, you cannot compare a 21 years old, someone coming from the Swiss League or the Belgium League, to Jack Grealish. That was worth.
No, I'm not. No, I'm telling you how City fans are comparing them.
Maybe, probably,
because they want. There are lots of City fans, Mo, that don't enjoy watching Manchester City Football Club. That's what it is.
I want to talk about the title race. How does this affect the title race? I'm actually not going to ask you, Martin. I'm going to ask the Man City. I'm going to ask Mina or Griggs. This win for Man City, when Man United score first, still Man City cannot keep a clean sheet even at home. How do you see this affecting the title race?
No effect, really. I think their next two games are the ones that have the effect on it. Anfield away and then Arsenal at home.
Do you guys think this Man City can win at Anfield?
Of course.
I don't care. I'll be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I know who I want to win the league. I hope next week's game doesn't even happen.
Mina's you really don't care who wins the league, Mina?
I know I care, but I don't care enough to give an analysis of whether this impacts Man City's title dreams or not. No offense.
No, They're going in hibernation for the next 3 months, a lot of United fans, because no matter the outcome, they're not going to be happy with any of the outcomes.
I have to pick the third. I have to pick the third evil, which is Arsenal to win.
Yeah,
that's already bad enough for myself. So that's how this, bro.
I don't want City to beat 4 in a row. They don't want Liverpool to win it, so they're down to Arsenal.
No, but I think in terms of like taking my United tinted glasses and everything like that off, I think City can win. I think City can win at Anfield considering the state of Liverpool squad right now. I think obviously Liverpool have momentum. They have this Klopp farewell thing. The youngsters are all motivated and stuff like that. But come next week's game, right? Alisson's not there, right? It's Kelleher in goal. Salah doesn't play. Nunez probably isn't 100% fit. City have the best team on paper. They just have to get over the hump at Anfield in front of a crowd. And I think for City, it's just like, I think a win would obviously be better, but even if they get a draw, they can take that momentum in terms of then you have Arsenal after that.
You think that City can afford to draw the game against Liverpool? I think it's the other way around.
I mean, both teams can afford to draw. Like they both can afford to draw, but I think with City, so they never win at Anfield in front of a crowd. Pep hasn't done that yet, so it's not like they're not really the favorites to win it. But City, until it hits about I think April. If they drop points in April, then they'll really get worried. But until it hits then, I don't think they'll be worried because if it's as long as it's like a 3-point gap, they have confidence in themselves to get the job over the line, and they're good enough. Obviously, they're still the best team in the league, in my opinion. So,
do you still think your favorites, Martin, or it's Liverpool?
I think we're favourites. Yeah, just my opinion. Next week. It's going to come down to next week's game and obviously come down to the Arsenal game for us. Because if we can get something next week and then beat Arsenal at the Etihad, that will technically knock Arsenal out the race.
All right.
And then you're down to 2. And then it'll be a straight run between us and Liverpool. And that's no disrespect to Arsenal. It's just if we beat Arsenal at the Etihad, it goes 4 points. And it becomes a harder job. So before any Arsenal fans trigger and go all mad, it'll be a tough game. I'm not saying it won't. It's going to be down to the next 2 games because you know what's coming. That's why you're laughing. You know exactly what's going to come. Because I mentioned Arsenal and I just get hate.
Can I ask you something else? Can I ask you something else?
Well,
if you play like this against Arsenal, do you think you win the game at the Etihad?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think we play back.
If you push that hard, you think if you push everybody forward, people in the chat, I want to know, yes or no question. Do you think if Man City play like this at the Etihad against Arsenal, do they win the game? Yes or no? Just yes or no.
I don't think Man City win the game. Etihad do what United did today.
Well, they did it against Liverpool. They literally defended in some parts of the game. They defended very deep and played in the counter-attack. Why not? If they did it at home, at the Emirates, why not?
I think they'd be stupid to do that.
Nah.
You cannot allow. No, but there's the thing, Mo. You cannot allow a blue wave to come at you for 90 minutes.
Yeah, but Arsenal aren't Man United. They won't leave spaces open, and you'll have to leave people in the back. You won't be able to commit.
Well, I mean, breaking news to you. You know we haven't lost a game for like 15 months at home.
Yeah, but I'm not saying you're gonna lose. Just to let you know, simply, if you don't win against Liverpool, Arsenal can afford to draw you at home. They'll still be ahead of you because they're 1 point only behind you. People don't realize this. You play at Anfield. If you don't win at Anfield, Arsenal will be ahead of you if they win their games. Now they go to the Etihad, they can afford a draw. They'll still be ahead of you. Does that make sense?
On the condition they win all their games.
And in condition you win all your games.
Well, this is what's making it intriguing. So this is what I said to you. So it's literally at the moment, it's very exciting for everyone else because it's literally one's playing after the other one and they're watching the other one play and it's whoever blinks first going into these big games. Listen, next week will be very hard, but, and I get it, and we spoke privately last night, I get all this Liverpool loving. I get it. I know it comes with the territory. No, it does. It comes with the territory. I know it does.
Martin,
it's Klopp's last season. We've got to do the
Oh,
loving.
you're very sensitive, Martin, about this.
No, I'm
because
not.
we
I'm
praised
not.
Liverpool
I'm used
yesterday, and I did a
No,
video
honestly,
about
I
it.
was listening to the local radio here and a big radio station nationally, and even they said the trouble is with City, we're never going to get anything because of the 115. While this 115 is going on, we are always going to be the asterisks there, the team if buts and maybes. So I get it. We're always going to be you said it yourself.
No, it's not because of this. I think it's not. I think you're wrong. I think it's not because of this. I'm gonna ask Mina and Griggs here. In my opinion, I think because you have the best coach in the world.
Any stream
Martin,
a City fan goes into,
hear me
look
out.
at the chat.
Hear me out,
115,
Martin.
115.
It is not because of that. Okay, people in the chat,
Come on.
spam 115. I'm telling you why. It's not because of the charges. It's because even Mina spam 115. Listen, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a neutral, right?
As they're all putting 115 in the chat right now, cheating bastards.
I'm a neutral. Okay, so hear me out. The reason why Man City won't get the praise. Number one, you did a treble, 3-peat. You have the best coach in the world, right? You have arguably the best team in the world at the moment. You have arguably the best structure as a club in the world. So you're held to different standards, completely different standards than everyone else. You winning games is something that we're all accustomed to. Yeah, we wake up in the morning, Man City are winning the game, right? But Liverpool winning in the last minute with the kids, with Dan, Bobby Clark starting, Trent is out, blah, 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 is a different story. If you had Haaland, KDB, Ederson, Rodri out, and you win games, that will be a story. But it's different. I get what you're saying. Oh, Liverpool, and Hamza says it. Liverpool are the media darlings. I'm sure he said it yesterday on Mina's preview.
No, it was like the listen.
It's not that. It's not because you're the best. So you'll have to be held to these standards.
I expected Liverpool to win yesterday, 1000%, and they are doing wonderful at the moment. They are proving a lot of people that was wrong. Listen, I get it, but nobody, hardly anyone. You know, it's like the referee. Oh, it was 2 minutes. Yeah, but in that 2 minutes, Forest could have had a shot, could have had a corner, could have done whatever. It changes the whole outcome of the game if the referee had done his job. But I don't see Forest fans going on social media begging for a replay. Did you see the Forest manager going into a press conference going, I demand a replay? There's a difference.
But you saw the owner coming onto the pitch looking like he's about to beat someone up.
You know what I'm saying, bro? England is lucky they're not in Greece, because in Greece he would have been strapped up. By the way, in Greece they carry guns in the side pockets in Greece because he's obviously Greek. Them guys are always strapped up. So I don't know how he passed the fitness.
Are you guys saying that the league helped Liverpool? Mina, are you saying this?
They're media darlings, though.
No. The media. They are the media darlings, whether you like that or not. They are.
Yeah,
so why
I agree to an extent.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree to an extent. I think in terms of the media darlings aspect, I'm not gonna lie, it's a media story. The young kids, Klopp's the final dance, one last dance, whatever it's called. It's literally, it's a perfect. What's that song? Taylor Swift Love Story. That's what it reminds me of. It's a love story. It's literally, that's what their season is looking like it could be. And I'll be honest, I can't say it. I was about to say something that would kind of put City as victims, but I'm not going to say it. I'm not.
Say it. We want to hear it.
Say
it. We want to hear it.
I can't say it.
No, listen, it's going to be a great race.
I think with City, though, like this always happens when you're the best team in the sport and you've dominated for a long time. You go from the hero to the villain. And you are now technically the villain of the league in terms of that. Just like how Man United, when they were dominating, they were seen as the villain of the league. Everyone wanted United to lose. When you dominate a sport, that's how it becomes. And everyone wants to see City lose. Does the cheating thing like elevate it? Of course, because as of right now, there is an asterisk next to it until everything gets decided. That elevates the villain status in terms of that.
That's not going to change though, because even if we get through innocent, you'll get the brown envelope. You're in a no win.
But technically, you are
because you're not innocent. That's a different story.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Can I ask where you got
I'm actually listen. I'm not bantering.
Where did you get your solicitor degree from?
Because I just lose my logic,
Financial
but I'm
degree,
not
where
gonna
was
get
it from?
this.
Kinder Egg.
But listen, Martin, you don't hear me talk. I actually think that even if Man City are found guilty, I think what they did is the right thing to catch Man United, Liverpool. But we're not gonna get into this
You
argument.
think it's right to cheat to
They
catch
didn't
rivals?
cheat.
All I'm going to say
Well, they
is,
technically did.
So
In
you
a few
condone
months-
cheating, bro. You
They
can.
didn't
I
cheat.
hope Inter
So
get
they
cheated
didn't
out.
cheat. So the
titles.
only
I hope
problem
Inter
is
gets
they.
cheated
Okay,
out
I'm gonna.
titles.
So let me explain to you. They were forced to sign on these rules for them to be actually involved in the league because it's a voting thing. Man City had to spend money to catch up with Liverpool, Man United, and Arsenal and the other clubs, right? It's not only a Premier League thing, it's a UEFA thing. What Man City did is that they did not overspend astronomically over Man United or Liverpool or Arsenal or PSG or Bayern Munich or whatever. So what they did is that they spent over. This is my belief, by the way. They spent over their budget or spent over this, but they didn't go and spend. And I'm just going to give a number. If Man United spent 10 every year, Man City didn't go and spend 100, not 10 times. Man City went and spent 15, 20, just to catch up to Man United and the rest and Arsenal. What they did is that they built their club. They had to build the club. There was no other way around it for them to reach this point other than cheating the system. Is the system rigged? I believe so. FFP was made to prevent clubs from being bankrupt. Man City weren't going to be bankrupt, and actually to provide fair play. It's called financial fair play. Man City didn't go and spend 10 times Man United. You still spend as much as them. Liverpool do spend as much as them. Their income wasn't high enough for them to be able to spend, but they were forced to sign these rules. Otherwise, they weren't going to be allowed in the league. It's as simple as that. This is my view of this whole financial fair play of cheating. The only mistake they did is that they didn't go public and say, we were forced to sign these rules. We disagree with them. We have to spend. We are being hindered of developing our club and building our stadium and developing our brand.
What about the
because of the
500
rules.
false sponsorships that they created?
So they make false
But
sponsorships.
that's the whole thing.
To
The
generate
sponsorship.
fake
Let me
revenue.
tell you.
Whoa,
I'm gonna tell you the
Page,
problem.
page
This is,
78
by the way,
half
these are not.
proves
I'm
they
sorry,
were not false
Martin. Let me
sponsorship.
just finish. Sorry. My take here isn't facts. It's not an objective take. This is a subjective take on this matter.
I
And
can
have
give you
been very
facts on it.
consistent about that. By the way, I've been very consistent. If Man City wanted to hire, I'm exposing you. If Man City wanted to hire someone who is expensive over their budget, they wouldn't have been able to do it. So the only way to do it is maybe pay him on another side, have whatever they did with Mancini, or whatever, if it's proven or not proven. I am not with teams like Newcastle spending 10 times over Man United. But if Newcastle should be allowed to at least overspend to be able to build their club, because I believe financial fair play held clubs from building their club. It's as simple as that. You guys are saying that because you're Man United fans.
No,
I'm seeing it from outside.
Once rules are placed in, you can't just. That's like
What about you forcing the rule because you're the strongest? How about that? Have you ever thought about it? Have you ever thought about the lobbies? And you're an American, I'm an American. Have you ever thought about the lobbies that force rules to serve their interest? And the other guys, and I'm not going to get political here, but you know what I'm talking about, Michael. Exactly. People with the power forcing the rules because they have the powers and it only benefits them. Have you ever thought about it this way?
Mo,
Can I
just...
Well, someone in the comments.
And by the way, anybody can ask me anything. I will answer it. By the way,
someone in the comments said it perfectly. It's like excusing a robber that's broke robbing a bank.
They aren't a robber. They didn't rob.
Well, they kind of are because they robbed Premier League.
By the way, I'm talking only about the overspending. I'm not talking about them signing young players and all this stuff. This is different. By the way, there are two sides of this. The side of Man City overspending over their budget, over their limit that they're allowed to, that I'm with. Them signing a player that is younger than the age or they shouldn't have signed, I'm against that because that has nothing to do with you spending money. That is cheating. So let's get both things different. The 115 charges should be divided into something that overspending your financial and actually cheating the system in terms of signing a youngster or developing a youth academy or buying another club or doing all of this. This is different for me. Let's just establish that. So don't lump sum everything together. Same, Chelsea signed players, got a transfer ban, right? You remember that, right? If Man City did it, that's a transfer ban. We are talking about a lot of fans around the world saying that Man City overspent to build their squad. They shouldn't been allowed to spend that much money because their income, their revenue isn't as high as Man United, Liverpool. Why is that their fault?
Can I just read some of it?
Because that's how
I think
football
I
has
rocked
always
your
worked,
world,
though.
people.
You have
I
to
mean,
build
I do
yourself to be
apologize.
that
Yeah,
kind of club.
Because you never thought I would come and say that, but I just said that. Go
I'm
ahead.
just right. You know, City are actually charging nothing to do with buying players. Nothing to
Right.
do. It's basically to do with sponsorship. That Cass proved. At Cass, we proved was of fair market value and ours was of no third party sponsorship. So on page 78 of the full Cass case, 90 odd pages, page 78, and I shall read you the exact line if you want. I don't mind. It says it's 289.289. J, conclusion, page 78 of the Cass case of 93. In view of the above, there is no doubt that Etihad fully complied with its payments obligations towards MCFC and that MCFC rendered the contractual agreed services to Etihad in return. The majority of the panel finds that Etihad sponsorship agreements are presumed to be negotiated at a fair value and that MCFC, HHSM and ADUG, which is Abu Dhabi United Group, and Etihad are considered not to be related parties, and the Etihad sponsorship agreements were legally binding contracts. There is no evidence that agreements were backdated or MCFC otherwise respectively tried to cover up any alleged violations following the publication of leaked emails.
Okay, let me respond to you.
Next one.
Let me respond to you. The Etihad is related to Sheikh Mansour.
No, well, you need to go and argue with the Court of Arbitration of Sport.
Yeah, I can. Listen, but Martin, I am not a lawyer. You aren't a lawyer. You are reading.
No. I've researched
Can you let me
it.
finish, Martin? Martin, let me respond. Martin, let me respond. I'm Arab, and I'm telling you, the kingdoms and the Emirates, kingdoms like Saudi Arabia, like the Emirates, all the money is related to the royal family. They're all together. Yes, this guy has a business. This guy has a business. This guy has a business. But if you're born to the royal family, you're assigned some money. So simply, all the money goes to the same guy. However, Manchester City is the only club that posted during COVID where nobody's traveling. Why did they get a sponsorship from an airline? No one was flying. Why would an airline do that? I'm going to tell you why. Because Al Etihad, right, are part of Abu Dhabi. Who is the government of Abu Dhabi? It's Sheikh Mansour and the family. It's very simple. Yes, it's his cousin or his brother or his cousin's cousin. You know what I mean? But it's all the royal family. I don't want to get to that point. Let's go back to the football. Because this can go forever. Let me just do a couple of super chats. Jay Gooney saying Rodri completed 100 to 110 passes today. Bruno, Casemiro, Mane, McTominay completed 88 passes combined. Crazy stuff. It's not crazy, people. Jay, let me just respond to you. And it's very simple. This is Manchester City at home, and this is Man United away from home against the strongest team in the world. If Man United tried to get out of their area and press forward, this game could have ended 6-7. I think people need to understand this. 3-1 is actually not even a fair score. It should have been 2-1. I think that the goal that Amrabat was given, 2-1, 3-1 is a fair score because Man United sat deep. If Man United went out of their area and pressed Man City high and opened up, this could have been 6-7. So this number is expected. Rodri is expected to complete 100 passes, and the rest of Man United are expected to complete that amount. That's it. Narmeen, thank you, Narmeen. Appreciate the super chat, Narmeen. She's a Man City fan. Foden is responding to every doubter from the bench warmers to less output to not being the X factor in the team. They all have an England team with that manager. Now watch him in Euro 2024. All I'm going to say is that Foden, week in, week out, is becoming the X factor that we say that Man City only have Haaland and KDB. So yes, it is happening, Narmeen. Absolutely. He's becoming an X factor that a lot of people don't have. Kieran here is saying City had pretty bad on the City had pretty bad on counter attacks. Man United had a lot of chances to bury the game, and I don't think they attacks. I agree. However,
But you agree United had lots of chances?
no, I agree that United got in really good positions, and if these are better players, they would have used it. Man United had a lot of places when they were 2-2, 3-3.
If we had
Normally,
Højlund today,
coaches don't
if
like
we had
that.
Højlund today, it would have been a good. If we had Højlund today, it could have been a different game.
I think, Martin, you're not seeing what we're seeing from outside. You reaching a point when 3-on-3 attackers and defenders is directly advantage attackers. Directly. Am I wrong here? Is this what coaches do? We want to bypass the press to reach 2-on-2 or 3-on-3?
No, I know what you're saying. I've got coaches badge. I've got coaches.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like the
I
coach's
know what you're
job
saying.
is not
point-
to get
no,
Rashford
no,
with
no, the point.
Ederson.
Name me a time second half when United went back the
No,
halfway
second
line.
half, first half.
The Garnacho chance where Edison like was able to get the ball off.
Yeah, but see, do you know the way I look upon it?
Martin,
Is,
many
no,
times
no,
Marcus
this is just
Rashford had
me.
one-on-one
I-
with Kyle Walker. He just wouldn't dribble him. He
as a
wouldn't try to
coach,
go.
this is. I don't believe in this. When you play a game for 95 minutes, you're never going to not concede chances. That's almost an impossibility within football. You don't not concede chances. I've had this debate so many times. There is hardly any game where an opposition don't have at least one or two decent chances.
I can explain.
It's like this
Martin,
perfection that we're not conceding chances.
No, you're a coach, Martin, and it's different. There is a chance, and there is bypassing the press. Mourinho said it many times before in 2010. Pep Guardiola, when he presses, if you bypass the press, you will have 50 or 60 yards with 2-on-2, 3-on-3. That's advantage forwards. That doesn't happen often in games. By the way, in football games, that doesn't happen often. Only Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Pep Guardiola's teams do this. Nobody else. Now Liverpool, sometimes they do this. You are literally leaving 50 yards for Marcus Rashford to run at your defenders or Garnacho. If they had Højlund, that doesn't happen, Martin. I'm not saying no chances. Nobody is going to go 90 minutes without any chances created. But that's pretty dangerous. That's the point of people saying. You leave it.
That I agree with. The reason I think the reason that's happening more this season is because teams are coming. It's happening more at home than it is away if you watch.
Because you press higher.
Yeah, because that's my point. Because at home, teams are coming, they're banking up 10. So what we're doing is we're having to release the fullback
to 8 players, and then you have 2 players in the back. Walker and
what's happening is the 2 fullbacks are going, they're becoming attackers basically. So you're leaving 2 less men at the back straight away.
Yes.
So so it's not, to me, I don't look upon that of bad defending. That's just Pep trying to change everything to counter what every team is doing.
But that doesn't.
Us.
Pep Guardiola is the genius that creates a system that works against 17 teams around in the league. 90%. The problem is not a lot of teams have the quality to bypass his press, to go at his defense. But when you're in for that, you score goals. That's what we're saying. Let me just finish these because I know you have to go. Tinsay, the race is saying, you just know VAR will be man of the match in the next weekend. You guys are already anticipating that Liverpool will get at Anfield, and you might.
No, I think it's going to be a baller of a game. I can't wait for it. I really hope the AR doesn't. I think it'll be 2 top teams going hammer and tongue next week. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be a spectacle.
If it stinks of a 1-0 game, it stinks of a 1-0 game.
Yeah, the other side, it could be, you're going to get that build-up all week, and then, like you said, it ends 0-0. You're like, what?
Enigma saying, stop massaging this City guys' ego. We all know Arsenal is the best team in the league. Partey and Rice will shut that midfield down at City ground.
I told you what was coming.
Yeah,
I got to root for these guys. I got to root for these guys. I hate my life.
Why, guys? They're praising their team. I don't get it. Arsenal,
you know what? Yesterday, I went on Twitter, and after Liverpool's game, the first thing I saw was Liverpool's football.
After
I know,
someone
no.
said Henry's better than R9, I realized Twitter is not real.
No, but the way they talk, the way they
It's
talk
not
about
real, bro.
like Liverpool's football is unsustainable. Liverpool have been playing the same brand of football for about 7 years now, and they've been a good team for about 5.5 of them. It's pretty sustainable.
Okay.
It's like stuff like that.
Let me finish this because I really want to speak
Nobody
about
said
Man United.
Liverpool and Arsenal are bad
If
teams. I
Mina
don't get
and
this.
Griggs can give me like 15, 20 minutes more, we can talk just about Man United.
Gotcha.
Kieran here is saying Forest players wasting time. They even get yellows card, and McAllister shows the class. You guys barely win against Bournemouth, Brentford. What about that? But they just literally smashed Man United. You draw a Man United at home. Oh, like, come on, Kieran. Listen, we get it. Liverpool, Arsenal are now like you guys. I think Liverpool are favorite, City are second, and then Arsenal are third, Kieran. I literally think that. But yeah, that 8 minutes were really warranted, to be honest. Ash Thomas saying, back to football. Stats show a small club mentality. There will be a few United players camping outside City changing room, waiting for autographs. Wow.
Don't beg it.
Well, it's ridiculous, to be honest. Ash is saying, United fans saying they played the best team on the planet. No, you didn't. You happened to share a pitch with them. You are Burnley United. Is that the level, though? Listen, I wanted to speak about Man United. I know Martin has to go because he has a show in like 5 minutes. I appreciate you, Martin. I know we'll meet on Tuesday, guys. Martin is going to be here Tuesday talking on a panel in the afternoon. Appreciate you, Martin. I know you have to go. And appreciate you coming in here. Congratulations on the win. And we'll see you Tuesday. Anything you want to plug in? By the way, Martin the Mancunian way is in the description. So as Mina Talks Football. She's doing a fantastic work. Daily content right there, guys. Go give them a subscription. Martin the Mancunian way, of course, is there. And also Griggs Talks Football, of course. If you want rants about Man United, you have to go and listen to Griggs.
No,
guys,
thanks for having us. And good luck for the rest of the season and enjoy the title race. It's going to be a belter.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you, Martin. Thank you, guys. Stay here. We're still staying for a bit to talk about Man United with these two beautiful guys, guy and girl here. Griggs, and I'm just fixing the freaking thing. Guys, Man United now. What are we saying then? I want, like, to be honest with you, Ten Hag again. He set up the team all right. There's no quality. I'm not saying Ten Hag stays, but the quality. How many players should go at the end of the season? Mina, how many players you would keep for this team?
I think who stays in the summer depends on the direction that United are heading. Under Ahmed Barada, under Sir Jim Ratcliffe, under Ineos, the style of football that they want to play, because they've already made it clear that whatever manager that comes in, or if Erik Ten Hag remains, is because their ideas and visions are kind of aligned. How many people leave? I say at least 8 to 10 rotations / starters, because there has been reports that around minimum 10 players will leave, but I think that that's a very buffed up number. I think that number includes people like Donny van der Beek. It includes people like Alvaro Fernandez. It includes people like Hannibal Mejbri, people that haven't been part of this season. So if we were to talk about people that have been part of this season, I think Scott McTominay leaves. I think I think it'd be better for United to sign Rafael Varane to a 1-year extension next year and sell Harry Maguire in the summer. Yeah, I think that would be better. I don't want to talk about the maths, but FFP wise, it also works out better for Manchester United. Because I feel like this season, Harry Maguire has kind of buffed up his price tag. And on the back of a Euros, hopefully, if England have a successful Euros, it will be easier to offload him. Going into next season, he's coming into his last year of his contract. United are not going to want to let him leave on a free, because by that time, he's not going to be of a sellable price or sellable in that instance. I would keep Rafael Varane. I think United will have to go out and buy a centre-back next season. And I personally think that there's no one better in the back line to learn from than Rafael Varane. Whoever they go out and buy, whether it's a Todibo, whether it's, I don't know. We've been linked to so many centre-backs and we never actually end up with them. In terms of who I think will leave, I think, like I said, McTominay will leave. I think Harry Maguire could leave. I think Wan-Bissaka could leave. Anthony, I don't know if he will leave, but he should leave because he's crap. No disrespect to him. But it's just United have to cut their losses. And that's what I need this summer. with Umar Barada, with Dan Ashworth, whoever comes in terms of the structures, the football structure side. I just need them to be ruthless. If they don't think people are good enough, just get rid of them. I don't want to see people fighting. I don't want to hear, oh, this person wants to stay and fight for a spot. If they're not good enough, just sell them. It's as simple as that. And United's problems, by the way, will not be fixed in one transfer window. It will not be fixed in one transfer window. But what they can do is kind of lay the foundations to go on and improve over the next 2, 3, 4 years. I think I said this actually on my stream a couple of weeks ago. I think it's more interesting to see whether Erik ten Hag stays next season rather than to look at who gets sold in the summer. Because if Erik ten Hag stays, I think people like Amad Diallo will want to leave.
Hold on, Mina, hold on. You think there is a chance he stays?
I think Ineos could look at him and look past. Not that I'm not saying I want him to, but I'm looking at from a perspective of what Sir Jim Ratcliffe and them would do.
Okay.
I think they could look at Erik ten Hag, and if they are aligned with what they want to do and how he can help utilize and help effectively play the way that they want him to play, I think he stays. But the thing is that I look at Erik ten Hag, I look at him as a stubborn person. We've seen he's stubborn. I think he's a bit naive when it comes to approaching games, making changes in the games. I think he's quite naive. I think he and the recruitment and the structure side of Manchester United might not see eye to eye when it comes to telling him that he can maybe suggest a player to sign, but he can't make demands to go out and sign someone. Because the last time he made demands for United to go out and sign someone, we ended up overpaying for so many different people. I think there's a possibility he could stay.
Can I ask you, Griggs? Can I ask you something, Griggs? Arteta 2 years cleaning out the squad, bringing in his players, and building a squad from young teams and stuff. I'm asking this question generally. Do you believe Erik ten Hag can do this? I don't.
Hell no. Well, this guy has brought me all these bums from Eredivisie and stuff like that. I do not want Erik ten Hag to have another say in a transfer window. I really don't. I call him right now Erik ten Interim, because I honestly think at this point he's an interim coach. I think he gets sacked at the end of the season because we've all seen this happen before. New guy charge means they want their own guy. Even with Tuchel and Bowley, Tuchel got 1 month of the season, and then he got binned because Bowley didn't like him from the beginning. But he had too much change to happen. So it is possible, like Mina's right, that they might prioritize like a clear out first, get a lot of the guys out the squad, and then just keep Ten Hag maybe for parts of next season and see what he does. But I don't think they will do that. There is a world, but I think he leaves. But I think next season needs to be what was meant to happen under Ten Hag's first season. Clear out a lot of the squad, address like the spine first. Go make sure you get players in positions that really, really matter first, and then go from there. Because like look at players like I think Maguire leaves, Lindelof must leave. If I see Victor Lindelof on this team next year, it has already been a failure of a summer. I think Wan-Bissaka leaves. I agree with Mina on Varane. I think United signed 2 center backs anyway, especially like if Lindelof and Maguire leave. I think you sign Varane to a year extension. You could even sign Johnny Evans to another year extension and have him like as a 5th center back. He'll take like low wages anyway. Midfield, if Varane stays, then you could probably sell Casemiro if you can get a good price on him. Get him back most of what you paid. McTominay should leave. Guys like Donny van de Beek should leave. Anthony, I don't think we could sell. I think we would have to settle for a loan because he's on 200K wages. It's peak for that, so it's gonna be really hard to sell. Jadon Sancho should leave. If Ten Hag says Amad Diallo will leave. And we need a lot. So it's gonna be really hard to fix everything in one summer, unless we like get some good prices on these sales. Like if we sell McTominay for like 45 mil, because that's direct profit, right? Because he's an academy player. If you sell Maguire, if like the stock goes up, 40 mil for Maguire.
I don't think the fans will be patient.
Oh no, I'm not. Obviously, I don't think the fans will be patient. What I want is basically
Man United fans are entitled. They're entitled.
Ratcliffe has said a 3-year project. Year 1 is the first part of the rebuild. You actually need to rebuild.
Bro, I'm telling you, whoever is going to be the coach next year, if you don't get Champions League football, the fans are going to say sack the guy.
I mean, if there's 5, you could go for Champions League football. There's 5 spots up for grabs.
But I'm telling you, if you don't get Champions League football next year, fans will say sack the guy.
Depends. I don't know.
No matter who the coach is.
Depends on what kind of football he plays. If it's like Ten Hag football, then yeah, they're gonna want him gone. But if it's assistant, if it's
you
football,
Man United fan from yesterday?
Well, I mean,
you know the Man United fan base? A Man United have to win along with improvement. Man United fan base aren't fan base that will be like accepting, yeah, we play good football, but we're not getting results or we're not getting Champions League. Unless you guys see it some different way. I don't know.
Well,
Is that
United,
right, Mina?
United shouldn't be accepting that. And I think
Okay,
that's
okay,
why
so we agree then.
I think that's why a lot of people are not accepting the fact that even when United do win games this season, I don't know if you realize, people are still arguing, people are still complaining because it's the manner in which they're winning. United fundamentally has been a team that wins. They win games, they win trophies, and they win it in good form. In the past, 20 years ago, there might have been 1 or 2 games in the season where it's a scrappy one under Sir Alex Ferguson, but United walk away with the lead or with the 3 points. It's because United were winning Premier Leagues, they were winning FA Cups, they were winning Champions Leagues, they were winning League Cups, etc. This season in particular, I agree with what Mo says. United fans, just Manchester United in general, you have to be winning and playing well. There's no point playing well and losing, or winning and not.
I'm not talking about like finishing 8th and below. I'm talking about like a 5th place finish.
Yeah, people will say get him out. Okay,
United fans will not say get him out if we finish 5th place. I don't think that will happen.
Okay, Griggs, I'm not sure how old you are. Generation that supports Man United now, that the people that have voices, they grew up with Man United being dominant. This banter era thing for them is unacceptable. It's like,
so
what is happening here?
You think unless United win the Premier League next season, they're going to say sack the manager?
Did I say that?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
in my mouth.
I'm saying 5th place. I'm saying 5th place. United fans will accept because they still get.
I said Champions League. Okay, you aren't winning the league next year.
That's what I'm saying. Griggs, 5th place.
You took it from Champions League football to winning the league. Like, you jumped way ahead.
I said 5th place football. 5th place gets you Champions League next year.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Well, more than likely, I think
necessarily.
So. More than likely, because the United are in the Champions League next year to embarrass England next year. It's going to be Liverpool, Arsenal, City, and I think Aston Villa probably.
No, that the format changes because from 2025 is the new thing.
But isn't the extra coefficient? Isn't the extra coefficient still there?
Yeah, it's a yearly coefficient.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's gonna be about 7-8 English teams in Europe again. So the favorites, it is more.
Okay, so let me. This is related. AMD here is saying, do you guys think City have changed what it meant to be a successful club? It's a very fair question. It's related to Man United. Do you think Man City have changed what fans think what a successful club is?
I think maybe in this new era of football where I think, is it far-fetched to say that fans feel like investors, you have to have a lot of money to succeed, which is why I think when United
in the Premier League,
when United was up for sale, a lot of people were leaning to the idea of having Qatar and Sheikh Jassim because that's unlimited funds in the eyes of the fans. That's unlimited money because City have shown with what they can do with unlimited money. Would I say that they've changed the view of what it is?
They don't have unlimited money. You spend more than them.
They have unlimited money. State ownership. You have unlimited money, bro. You got a bag. You just keep going in and in. Money coming out.
I know what a state funding. I'm Arab, right? I'm Egyptian. But they don't spend unlimited. They don't spend unlimited funds. Mina.
Listen, they
do. Their wage bill is higher a little bit.
But it's 100 mil higher, by the way. It's 100 mil higher than ours, by the way.
No, Juventus at some point had 100 million wage bill higher than Inter with a 25 people squad. Listen, anyway, go ahead, Mina. I'm sorry to interject. I'm sorry.
No. I was. It's all right. What I was gonna say is money is not always the solver of all stuff. If you look at the Premier League, you look at City. It's not just the money that's changed the way that they've won. They've been able, especially Pep Guardiola, he's been able to spend 60 million on a player. It doesn't work out, go out and spend 80. It's not just that, it's the coaching overhaul, it's the football structure. They brought in all the right people from different places to make it work. And I was having this debate with a City fan the other day where City fans were saying to me, Man City are now the blueprint in the Premier League, and a lot of clubs are trying to follow them. Newcastle are trying to follow them. Manchester United are now trying to follow Manchester City in terms of having the football structure, the ownership, and then the manager and everybody else underneath that, players, etc. Would I say they changed the way? I don't know. Griggs, what do you think? I just don't know.
Can I just put a fact out there? Can I just make a fact? Like just Manchester United wage bill is higher than Man City this season. I'm just throwing this out.
Not really, because all our players' wages
No,
got.
no, I'm looking at it. I'm
Champions League
looking at it.
bonuses.
I'm looking at it.
What net salary?
Net
Excluding
salary.
bonuses.
No, it's
It
called
doesn't have
annual.
bonuses.
Annual. Okay, Man City 190 million. Man United 198 million pounds.
That doesn't have bonuses though.
Well, I don't know. This is not. I don't know.
I'm saying you gotta factor in bonuses.
And by the way, you just have to understand, bonuses are tied to winning.
Yeah.
Winning makes you money. You win the Champions League, you make about 80 to 100 million extra. You win more trophies, you make more money. So bonuses are related to winning. Win the Premier League, I think it's only 20 million difference between the first and the fourth, if I'm not mistaken. But that also bonuses. So for people say, but that doesn't include bonuses, you can only say that for a team that don't win. But Man City won a triple, so they are entitled to make their bonuses.
Well, anyway. I'm not saying they can make as much money. I don't pocket watch with that. Good for them to make the money, player power and all that. Now, but in terms of City being the
money like them,
in terms of player them being the blueprint, I don't really think they're like the blueprint. Like even when Ratcliffe talks about like City, he doesn't really talk about like their structures like that. He talks about the football they play. That's what he really wants to model, because we all know what it takes to be a successful club. You can't be a successful club without a structure. I mean, because City didn't even create their own model. They copied the Barcelona model. They went to Barca and they took all the guys from over there and they brought them over here. That's what they really did. And then they try to model themselves after Barcelona, but they've made it more successful. Maybe they haven't been as stupid actually as Barcelona, because they didn't have a Josep Bartomeu spending 150 million on Dembele and like 140 million on Coutinho and stuff like that. They were more smart with their funds, but I don't think City have set the blueprint in terms of that. But I guess maybe in terms of like, I think Mina's right with like the money thing. You do need money to compete, but I was suggesting the reason I always like I wanted Qatar originally, because Mina was right, like the opportunities that could have been available, because United are already a self-sufficient club. Well, for the most part, now we're kind of struggling a little bit with that, but for the most part, we were a lot self-sufficient. We spent as much as City without having investment within the club, which could, and then if you add investment into the club with United's funds already in terms of revenue, it could have been incredible. But I always said this with Ratcliffe: if he brings me in the right structure, which he seems to be doing, and United already have money, it can work. That's all I wanted. I just wanted a competent director of football, a competent coach, a competent head of recruitment, all that kind of stuff, and then it'll work. I don't really want to model City. I want to model their football. I want to be as good as I'm on the football pitch, because I think they're the most dominant football team in Premier League history in terms of on the pitch performance. The way they play football, it's incredible to watch for the most part. But in terms of like their board and stuff like that, I never really looked at that. I didn't really care.
I think to play their football, to replicate their football, you have to replicate the football structure, because the football, I won't say it's a direct impact of the football, but it's a direct impact.
Guys that you need guys that envision that kind of football. Like
the structure brings in the manager gets the best out of the players. The structure helps the manager to bring in players. Without good structure, you can't play good football. United is a perfect example of that. United in the last 10 years is a perfect example of, no matter how much money you inject into a club, if you do not have the right structure in place, you will not see the fruits of the labor on the pitch through the players. And when I say that, some people say Man City is the blueprint over the last 10 years in the Premier League, it's because of that. It's because of the structure. Because of the structure, they are able to invest accurately and properly into players and support the manager in terms of the players they need to bring in. And through that, they've been able to dominate the league. They've been able to compete at the highest level. It's possible. It's the blueprint over the last 10 years. United was doing this ages ago. You know, other European clubs have been doing it. PSG is actually, I would say, like the opposite example. PSG is actually the opposite of example of what having money does if you don't have the right structure, because I can't believe 20 years from now, I'm going to be telling my kids, Neymar, Mbappe, Messi played together and they never won a Champions League. That's ridiculous. But they are literally, I would say, the opposite of what City are doing. They have the money, they ain't got the structure. You ain't seeing the football on the pitch.
I think, Mina, to be honest with you, it's just Pep.
You think it's all Pep?
Yeah, it's all Pep.
All of it.
All of it.
You could argue that.
I think in terms of like the sustained success they've had, I think that is Pep.
It's all Pep.
But
but they had to get Pep there somehow.
Guys, I'm old enough. I'm old enough, and I'm telling you, Pep Guardiola is the perfect manager to dominate the league. It's all Pep.
But who brought Pep in?
Oh yeah. All of this is
come with
great.
His bag and just said, "I want to work here." No.
Let me ask you a simple question. If Ancelotti is managing Man City, would they have won 5 league titles? If Thomas Tuchel was managing them,
no.
Okay. Jurgen Klopp might be, but still, it's not going to be the same. Remember, Jurgen Klopp had a couple of dips in the league. People don't understand how good Pep is. Like you guys, like I've watched Pep since he came to the picture in 2008. It's that freaking system that suffocates the opposition, and it works. It just works. It works in the league fantastically. Will they be successful when Pep leaves? Yes. But will they be successful as now? I doubt it. Right? Unless everybody else falls off. Right? People think like Mr. Happy here, big up for always sending a super chat. Think I love Pep? I actually don't. I think he
You
ruined
just
football.
respect him.
I just respect his work. I think he ruined football forever until someone else fixes it. He ruined football for real. Anyway, listen, people. Anything else you guys want to add?
Yeah, respect Klopp hype in the comments, bro. Klopp would not do that shit at City because Klopp for me has always been he needs like the underdog story. He's the underdog in the story, the narratives, like stuff like that. He's a great manager, but I think City's just a little bit different. They're a different monster. I think Pep was the only manager that could have taken City from what they were under Pellegrini and Mancini to that next step, which is what we see now, obviously.
Yeah. Listen, people, I just want you to do a favor for me. Griggs channel is in the description. Mina, of course, channel is in the description. They're doing fantastic and great work. It's just one click away. You don't have to copy, paste, do anything. You just go to the description of the video, click on their link. I want each one of them to tell me that they got at least 50 to 100 subscribers after the show. We still have close to 350 people watching us. There's 50 of you that haven't subscribed to Griggs and Mina. So please do this. Just go click on the link. It doesn't matter if this goes down to 200 people. Just go subscribe and come back chat with us. It's simple. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps us massively, massively, massively. And it helps their channel. They are giving us their time. I appreciate that. So you guys have to appreciate them as well. They're doing a great work every day. So you got to go check them. And you can like the last video or last 10 videos if you really want to help them. It will massively help them. Thank you, Mina, for joining. Thank you, Griggs, for joining. I enjoyed this. I know it's after a loss. Hopefully next time after a win. And I know you guys will be pissed after a win as well. I've seen Griggs after a win. But listen, thank you, people, for joining us. Appreciate you guys. This will be redirected to Al Ahwa, to Hussam stream. There's going to be chaos with Hamza and the rest.
Oh, I have to deal with that guy this week. Oh my god!
I appreciate you guys. You'll have to sit on bottom row, and Hamza have to talk. So
that's the worst thing in the world.
That's gonna be Tuesday. Yeah.
That's even worse than the loss. That's actually worse than the loss for me. Sometimes having to listen to Hamza.
Say they don't see it. It's in the description of the video, people. 3 channels: Mina, Griggs, and Martin. Done. See, done. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Let's get to 250 likes or 300 likes. Appreciate you, people, and we are out of here, people.